Congressman Byron Donalds, Republican of Florida, and potentially the next Speaker of the U.S. House of Representatives. So Congressman Donalds is also on the House Oversight Committee. And as we've been talking about, there is this dynamite new information, a personal check from James Biden, brother of President Joe Biden, right? James and his wife, to Joe Biden. This is back in March of 18, Joseph R. Biden, for $200,000. And $200,000 came to James Biden the same day this company paid him $200,000. It's called AmeriCorps. And why were they actually hanging around James Biden? Well, right here. Based upon representation that his, Biden, the last name Biden, could open doors and that he could obtain a large investment from the Middle East based on his political connections. So I think this is very, very big. Congressman Donalds, tell us, please, the significance. What do you make of it?
The significance of this check basically brings to light, it is the evidence that the mainstream media has been begging to see for all this time, that Hunter Biden and Jim Biden were the facilitators of getting Joe Biden money so he could sell access to his office. $200,000 check for a loan repayment? Give me a break. We all know what's going on here. They were concealing this money coming in from foreign sources so Joe Biden could get rich based upon the fact that he was the top of our politics for more than 50 years. It is time for the House to hold him accountable. The evidence is clear to see.
You know, I'm looking at the reaction online. A lot of people agree with us. Smoking gun. This is very, very serious. Others are saying private citizen to private citizen. He wasn't vice president. He's allowed to do this. Oh, it was a loan repayment because he writes in the box loan repayment. The media will continue to defend him, won't they, as you alluded to?
The media will, because frankly, they have bought lock, stock, and barrel of this Joe Biden presidency. As far as I'm concerned, the only entity with having serenity now with Joe Biden is the mainstream media. But that's not working for the American people. He must be held to account. And let's be very clear. He didn't get $200,000 because he's a private citizen. He got $200,000 because he was a former vice president of the United States and is now president of the United States. So who is getting paid back for the money that he received through his brother and his son?
It's incredible. It really is. All right, well, stay tuned on that. In the meantime, Jim Jordan is no longer a candidate for Speaker of the House. We like him a lot. President Trump likes him a lot. And I think he likes you a lot. You're a candidate now officially for Speaker?
I am a candidate officially. We put out a notice on our X Twitter. Got to make sure we keep the name right now, but we put it out on our X, telling the American people and my colleagues that I've thrown my hat in the ring to run for Speaker of the House. Look, let's be very clear. Our House right now, we're having some issues. We can repair those issues, but it requires us to be unified, number one, go back to business and secure our border, actually fund this government responsibly, and then continue to lay out that conservative vision for the people who sent us here. That job can still be done. I believe I am the leader that can get that job done. That's why I threw my hat in the ring to run for Speaker of the House.
There are several other candidates. I think we have some pictures of them. You're familiar with these folks. When you run, how do you run for this office? I mean, and do you actually talk about the negatives of your opponents? Do you just talk about yourself? What happens behind closed doors or on the phone, to the extent you can tell us?
Well, look, when you're talking to other members of Congress and asking them for their vote, it's really about what do they want to see happen going forward with the House of Representatives. I believe we have to have a process going forward where every member has a seat at the table. In terms of my opponents, my colleagues here on Capitol Hill, I'm not going to talk bad about them because we actually agree on the very policies that we want to see happen. But it's really a matter of choice of who the conference believes is the best person to lead us forward. I'm going to talk about my ideas and my vision and how I think we can actually have a true game plan to achieve them. But at the end of the day, I think where we are right now as a Republican conference, whoever wins this race, we must all come together, support that person, get the majority working again so we can secure the borders of this nation, because we are the only entity up here on Capitol Hill that's going to lead. It's not going to be the Senate, and we know it's not coming from the White House.
Did you support Jim Jordan when he was running?
I did. I supported Jim fully. I endorsed Jim early. I stayed with Jim through every round of voting.
All right. Now, this is what Hakeem Jeffries said about Jim in the middle of the campaign. I thought it was totally ludicrous, but you hear this phrase bandied about quite a bit. Take a look.
We recognize that Jim Jordan is a clear and present danger to the American people, and we are going to be here for as long as it takes to end this national nightmare.
You know, that is a very troubling and dangerous statement from him. That means you can actually break the law to stop the clear and present danger. They've said that about Trump supporters, like me. I'm a clear and present danger. I believe in the law and order and the Constitution. That is really bad, what he just said, isn't it?
I totally agree. I think that kind of language from Hakeem Jeffries is out of line. You know, I got to say, I'll be interesting to see what he would say about me. Let's see what that looks like. But look, bottom line is the Democrat Party. They are the ones that were spying on the American people. They are the ones that lock kids out of classrooms way longer than needed to. They are the ones that refuse to secure the southern border, even though they are the ones that created this catastrophe. And under Joe Biden, they are the ones that have led our nation to a place where our adversaries do not fear us and, frankly, do not respect us. So that, in my view, is the thing that is harming our people and our country. Republican leadership is the thing that's going to lead us back to the America that is respected around the globe.
If you don't mind, I'd like to go back to the matter of the check, which we had blown up. And we have text messages between James Biden and Hunter Biden. I think they're very interesting because they were written in the same time frame, March of 2018. Let's go ahead and put that up, please. This is from Hunter to his uncle, Jim. We can talk later, but you've been drawn into something purely for the purpose of protecting Dad. And I know any of the BS money is mine ultimately. That is something else. Your reaction to that, and I'm also hearing that, again, this is the tip of the iceberg, right, in terms of documents we're about to see?
Yeah, there is a lot more information that we are going to be working through. I don't want to get too far ahead of what James Comer is doing with the Oversight Committee and what Jim Jordan has been doing with the Judiciary Committee. But let me be very clear. You have the text messages all throughout the last several years, and now you're starting to see actual checks going to Joe Biden. America, Joe Biden is corrupt. He was taking money and he was selling influence across the globe and using his son and his brother to do it. That is the bottom line. We are going to continue our investigation and we're going to move forward because accountability and transparency is what is needed for the American people.
Byron Donalds, thank you very much. Congressman, Republican of Florida, and very potentially the next Speaker of the U.S. House of Representatives. And that would put you second in line to the United States presidency. It's a pretty awesome position, and I'm pulling for you. Many thanks. And we'll be right back.
Thank you.